Heroes come in many forms, with varying strengths, weaknesses, and personalities. Keyleth shows us that a hero does not need to be full of confidence and charisma, but can be shy, awkward, and vulnerable, while still kicking some serious butt. The members of Vox Machina have official D&D sheets, so their BG3 builds will follow them closely with some deviations here and there for constraints or additional options. In addition, Vox Machina characters were originally built for Pathfinder, so there are certain things that were translated from Pathfinder to D&D that don't have an equivalent in BG3, even with mods. Starting with the basics, the race is going to be half-elf. Now, as for the sub-race, it should be noted that Keyleth's sub-race is not actually mentioned. So we're going to go with the high half-elf because it provides an additional cantrip, such as light, which is flavorful, and because she doesn't have wood elf speed. And speaking of cantrip, we will switch out Firebolt for light. For the class, it is of course going to be Druid, and with the Druid class you get 2 cantrips. Now, Thorn Whip is directly from Keyleth's build. However, the other 2 cantrips are Druidcraft and Gust. Neither of these exist in BG3, including in mods. So we're going to take Produce Flame as the second cantrip here, since she is able to use fire. For the background, it's going to be Outlander, which gives proficiency in athletics and survival. For the ability scores, this is where things get really different. Keyleth's D&D scores are unobtainable in BG3, so we're going to be lowering her strength and intelligence scores to give room to focus on wisdom, and we're going to be using ASIs later to boost that wisdom even further. So we're going to give her a strength of 10, a dexterity of 14, a con of 14 using the +1 modifier, an intelligence of 12, a wisdom of 16 using the +2 modifier, and a charisma of 10. For the additional skill proficiencies, we are going to choose Nature and Insight. And then for the prepared spells, you have quite a few choices here that come directly from Keyleth's build. You can go with Thunderwave, Cure Wounds, Fairy Fire, Entangled, Fog Cloud, Healing Word, and Goodberry, and those will all be appropriate for her build. So I will keep Cure Wounds and Fairy Fire, take out these 2, and add Entangled and Thunderwave. Now let's move on to appearance. For appearance, you're going to start with body type 1. As far as voices go, I felt like voice 4 was probably the closest, but none of them are quite right. Now for the head, you're actually going to need a mod for this. The mod is called HW Hearts Heads Part 2, and the head that you are looking for from that mod is the Eithne head, or at least that's how I'm pronouncing it. For skin tone, we're going to go with neutral tone 1. She's quite pale. And then scroll down and you're going to turn up freckle quantity to just about 50%. And freckle intensity should also go up to about 50%. Skip on over to eyes. The eye color is going to be Elf Green 2. For makeup for the eyes, it's going to be Makeup 4. Keep it on black, and 90% is fine. If you want to turn it all the way up to 100%, that's also fine. For the lip tint, we're going to go with Red Auburn 2. You're going to turn up the tint intensity to 50%, or just about, and then the gloss level to just about 25%. For the hair, scroll down and select Pinned and Perfect. Hair color is going to be Orange 5. And then to darken that up a bit, we're going to use graying, not highlights, because the highlights cause some streakiness. And under graying, you're going to choose Orange 6 and turn that up to 100%. And that will just darken it up a bit. All right, and that will do it for appearance. Onto the build. At level 2, it is time to choose your subclass. And for Keyleth, the subclass is Circle of the Moon, which will unlock her Wild Shapes and Lunar Mend. You have the option to go ahead and prepare any spells you choose here, but just keep in mind that in BG3, you can swap out your spells at any time except in combat. At Druid level 3, there's nothing you need to do here, just a health increase, some spell slots unlocked, and access to level 2 spells. At level 4, it is time to choose another cantrip and your first feat. So for the cantrip, We don't have any cantrips available to us at this point that are on the official build. However, we do know that guidance has been used in the campaign, and we do see moments throughout the show that suggest she's using it as well. So we're going to go with guidance here. And then for the first feat, we are going to do ability score improvement and bring up wisdom to 18. At level 5, nothing we need to do, just unlocking 3rd level spells and Wild Strike. At level 6, again, nothing we need to do here. There's a health increase, another spell slot unlocked, Primal Strike, and some additional wild shapes. At level 7, again, a health increase, and level 4 spell slot unlocked. At level 8, another spell slot unlocked at level 4, and an additional wild shape becomes available. And it is time to choose our second feat, which again is going to be ability score improvement, bringing wisdom up to 20. At level 9, health increases, some more spell slots are unlocked, and access to level 5 spells. At level 10, it is time to choose the final cantrip, and again, nothing here matches what's on the official build, and we're down to only a few choices here. I would say that Shillelagh is probably the most appropriate out of the options here. It should also be noted though that at level 10, Keyleth gets access to Myrmidon wild shapes, and these can act as her elemental forms. At level 11, health increase, 6th level spell slot unlocked, and of course access to those 6th level spells. And then at the final level, Druid level 12, there's a health increase, and it is time to choose a final feat. And we're going to go with what is in the official build here, which is Skilled. And the ones we are going to choose are going to be Intimidation, Perception, and Persuasion. Now, a couple notes here about skills. Keyleth is also proficient in Stealth, but we've run out of available slots to use, and I think that this is probably the least applicable to her personality and fighting style. Also note that Keyleth is proficient in Alchemy. This is carried over from the character's Pathfinder build and is known as Craft in D&D, but this skill does not exist in BG3. You could use the Unlock All Alchemy Recipes mod so that Keyleth has access to make all of the alchemical substances, but keep in mind that doing this would unlock it for all of the characters in your game, not just Keyleth.
I'm Keyleth.
And that will do it for the build section. On to the bonus section. A key feature for Keyleth is the antlers she wears. However, the only antlers in the game also cover up your hair. If this doesn't bother you, you can use Wapira's crown, found in Act 1, or the Shapeshifter hat, found in Act 3. The official Keyleth build has a 22 in Wisdom, helped out by her Circlet of Wisdom. That item does not exist in BG3, not in the mods either. However, there are 2 ways in BG3 that you can get your Wisdom score this high. One is to use the Mirror of Loss in Act 3, which gives any stat a +2. The other is to use the Hag's Hair in Act 1 along with Keyleth's Gift, an amulet found in Act 3. It should be noted that although Keyleth's Gift says to a max of 21, the Hag Hair buff stacks, and so does the Mirror of Loss. That being said, you could go for an impressive 24 Wisdom if you used all 3. Spoiler alert for this next part of the bonus section. Keyleth does not have her vestige of divergence in the show yet, but at this point in the story, which is Season 3 in the show, she did have it in the tabletop game. If you would like to get it, there is a mod called Critical Role Vestiges of Divergence that you can use. That's it for the Keyleth build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, keep an eye out for more Vox Machina builds. Thanks for watching.